What's up, crew? And in this video, I'm going to answer the one question that I just received a few times. How do I start with no client testimonials and no reviews? Every single thing I create is meant to produce the most meaningful contribution that I can deliver. I want to give people that glad-hearted certainty that comes when life is wisely navigated so that people flourish in every possible way. So here's what we're going to discuss today. If you are like me, I'm 42 years old, I'm finishing my first full-time year in real estate, and assuming that the transactions that I have that are supposed to close this December, I'm going to close just over $16 million in my first full-time year as a real estate agent. This question was in particular very important to me because I am happily married of 20 years and I have 3 kids. And so taking the jump from a very stable vocation into a non-stable, non-proven, risky vocation was a leap of faith for me. And I needed to be able to provide immediately. And so I had the challenge that every one of us faces, and that is, how do you break into an industry without having much reviews or much proven track record in order to produce a result and not just survive, but eventually thrive? And that's exactly what I want to get into today. And I want to answer that question in 2 primary ways. And I'm going to address each of these in future videos in a more elaborate fashion. But today, just very briefly, here's how I would answer that question. Number 1, who is far more important than what? And so if you're considering getting into real estate, or you're going to be transitioning into real estate, or you're going to be doing anything, by the way, I think who is far more important of a question to answer than how. Because the who provides that rising tide that lifts all ships. You know, there's a truth in life in that when you can attach yourself to coaches, mentors, leaders, people that are and have arrived at where you want to go to, and you figure out a way in order to acquire their wisdom and their insight, you can condense time frames from decades into 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months. But what you also are able to do is leverage the resources that they have in such a way that they benefit and you benefit. And this is why who you partner with when you first start out in real estate is so important. And the team really does matter. Alignment really does matter. And so what I would encourage you to do, and what I did, is I wanted to find a team. I wanted to find a team leader. I wanted to find a leadership team that was in direct alignment with the values that I held, but also was a high-performing team that I knew that when I came in, I could benefit from all of the training. I could also benefit from the systems. I could benefit from the market reach. That way it minimized my risks and it increased the upside. And at the same time, it increased the upside for the team and it minimized the risk of the team so that it was always a win-win. But the who is far more important than the how. If you are a single agent and you can afford the year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or 10 years it takes to build a business, then that's great. I think more power to you. But I think for many people, when you can surround yourself with a high-performing team that's going to provide you with the training, the systems, the accountability, the leads, the marketing, etc., then you are going to be able to accelerate your progress. You're going to be able to learn in 1 year what it would likely take you 5 years to learn. And so that's the one thing I would say is make sure you answer the question very carefully, who, more than the how. The second thing that I would say to you is simply this. Do you have an online presence? Is there a web page that people can go to so that they can learn more about who you are as a person, what you value as a person, what kind of maybe track record you had before? And when I mean web page, I don't mean those dinky, stupid, plastic like Keller Williams Coldwell Banker pages when you go to and it just looks like a vanilla page and then you've got your picture on the top. I'm not referring to that at all. Spend the $20, learn how to do something on Squarespace. It's not difficult, and create a page that's uniquely you, that you can consistently update and put content on. I think that's the key. I'll show you right now what I have done with my page. I created this page when I got into the business. Even before I transitioned, I created this page. This is a constantly evolving page. And so I'm gonna share my screen with you now. If you're looking at this now, you see Manifesto, Brain Upgrade, etc. I didn't have these on there before. Now I do. But if you scroll down, you can see that I have an endorsement here. And then I've got my story. Who is Jonathan Smith, right? But people can now engage with me on YouTube, on Spotify, on Facebook. I wanted people to be able to see my life. And then early on, I invested in Sotellus. I think it's one of the best platforms you can invest in when it comes to customer testimonials. Guys, you can see this. My goal for the year was really to acquire 60 superfans. I wanted to, not necessarily aim for revenue. That's never been my goal. My goal was I want to be able to earn the right to lead, guide, serve, and help 60 people, and in so doing, get a review from them that is glowing. I want to just provide so much service that it earns at the very least a testimonial that other people of comparable quality could go onto my website and they could see, this is what it's like or could be like to work with John. So here's what I would suggest. Number one is who, but number two is spend the $20, create a page on Squarespace, and make it uniquely you. Feel free to use the template even here that I've used. You can go to my About Me page. This is one that I spent some time on, and to be honest, I don't like it right now. In fact, I'm gonna be changing it very, very shortly. But it goes to show real quick of who I am. I'm a family man. I'm a speaker and an influencer. If you've watched one of my videos in the past, I tell you that I've been a pastor for 20 years, right? I'm a real estate guy. I'm a coach. I played Division I college lacrosse. This just gives you an idea of, this is an actual human being. And it gives an idea of the humanity of who Jonathan Smith is. And I've heard from countless clients that just this single thing set me apart from so many other agents that I was up against, and was one of the main reasons why people chose to enroll with me as opposed to someone else. So we'll conclude the video with this. Number one is make the decision wisely of who you partner with. And then number two, do all that you can to creatively make some kind of footprint online that people can go and see, who is this? In other words, are you Googleable? If you Google your name, can you find you? And do you have some real estate online where people can go and look and find out more information about you? I hope this helps, guys. If there's any way I can help you, please feel free to reach out to me. All of my information is below. Happy to help you think through any page or content that you may